Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brennan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 9 of the best content management software and systems, or the best CMSs for you in your small business. Whether you want to find a website builder, an e-commerce store, or even just a website to host your company's content, that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. Again, 9 of the best different platforms that you can get started with today. Now, there are a wide variety of different platforms to look at. Some are better for selling products, some are better for just, again, hosting that content and managing the content that you want to publish online for people to access and visit. Now, before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention, if you want to check out any of the companies mentioned here in today's video, there will be links linked down below in the video description. Of course, some of which are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into things. So of course, first things foremost, what is a content management system, right? It's essentially a place for you to host your content. Like I mentioned, whether that be physical products or just that content as well, it's a place for you to host that on your website. Again, there's a variety of different ways to do it. And taking a look at the first company we have here in today's video, we have WordPress. Now, this specifically is WordPress.org. Now, there is a little bit of a difference because if you just search WordPress, you're gonna find, WordPress.com as well as WordPress.org. Now, you could go with either one. Personally, the one that I recommend and the one that I'm putting here at the #1 spot is WordPress.org. That is a open source, self-hosted version of WordPress, which is actually the most popular content management system for a wide variety of different businesses and website owners, website creators, right? So it is a very good platform to get started with, again, because it is the most popular, and there are a ton of different plugins and options that you can use. Now, I will say as well is that if you're familiar with SEO or search engine optimization, essentially ranking in Google or Bing or different search engines, WordPress is also very good for that, and is, again, one of the top reasons why it is the most popular publishing platform for managing content. It also has a wide variety of different themes for you to choose from, and because it is an open source platform, you have more choice over how you want to own and host your website. You're not necessarily beholden to a singular company when it comes to the hosting of your website. I'll get into that in just a moment, exactly what that means, right? Because if you want to, you can actually just download WordPress for free and host it however you want, because it is, again, open source. So essentially, the platform allows you to build a website however you want. You can post blog articles, you can, use landing pages, really build whatever you want on WordPress. Again, because it is a very open platform, you're not necessarily locked into a specific way of building your website. Now, one thing worth mentioning and very important is that in order to actually use a WordPress website, you will need some sort of hosting company. So the one that I personally use and do recommend to a lot of people is Bluehost. There are a wide variety of other hosting companies out there. Again, if you do want to check out Bluehost, you go ahead and check out the links down below. Again, that's brandonvalesky.com/hosting. We'll take you over to this page here where you can get started with Bluehost. Now, Bluehost is just one of the many hosting companies that you can use to host your WordPress website. Again, you do need some sort of hosting company in order to get started with a WordPress website. Now, in terms of pricing, WordPress and specifically even Bluehost is one of the cheaper options when it comes to different CMSs and content management platforms. Again, because it is just an open source platform, a lot of the aspects, they do give you kind of like sign up bonuses, so to speak, like free domains and things like that. And you're able to easily get started with WordPress. Now, again, the pricing is always subject to change depending on the pricing you're seeing here in this video. The other nice thing too about using WordPress is if you want to use multiple different websites, a lot of hosting companies allow you to, again, like 10 websites you can host on just their basic version, which is not necessarily the case with a lot of other content management platforms or other companies out there. So again, WordPress is at that #1 spot for a very good reason. Again, it is the most popular platform. A lot of people use it to host their website. A lot of different themes, plugins, and options. And to that point too, there's also a lot of tutorials online as well, if you run into any problems with that. A lot of people, everybody knows WordPress, very familiar with it, very easy to use just because it is so popular. Moving in at the #2 spot, we have Shopify. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, hands down, there's no surprise that Shopify is at this #2 spot, and they are hands down the best for e-commerce when it comes to selling products online. WordPress WordPress is more so just for doing the content management, building out a website, and kind of running your own show, right? Shopify is a little bit more handholdy because it is, it is not open source. It is just on the Shopify platform. So you are limited to just that singular site on a singular like Shopify plan, depending on, how you go about doing things. If you're just building out a singular website, then that's fine, if you're just going with Shopify, and you can build out an e-commerce store. They have a wide variety of different themes as well, and they are one of the highest converting checkouts when it comes to selling products online. Now, you can also post content. You can create blog posts and things like that as well. As you can see, they have a very high converting checkout, very good uptime as well. You shouldn't have any, really server issues with them either. Shopify, especially over the years, as I've seen it grow and develop, it's really come a long way in terms of just owning this space in terms of e-commerce. That's why they're at this number 2 spot. Again, if you're looking for a CMS that is really good at e-commerce, again, a wide variety of different types of themes, colors, designs, they're definitely very design forward. It's going to cost you a little bit more than what you would with a WordPress website, but again, that's just sort of the nature of e-commerce. When you're comparing if I'm going to get started with an e-commerce platform, you can expect to pay more than what you would with just like a basic website that all you're doing is hosting content. You're not necessarily trying to actually sell products, because selling products, you do need a little bit more oomph to your website, so to speak, for it to work functionally and properly. So as you can see here, you can sort of customize your theme. Again, if you are interested in Shopify, you can go to brennanvalesky.com/Shopify. That will take you over to this page here where you can get started with a Shopify free trial. Again, links are down below in the description. I do also have a ton of Shopify tutorials here on the channel in terms of getting started and maybe creating landing pages, different things you can do with Shopify as well. Again, they are a very popular platform in general for e-commerce. Again, a very good content system when you're looking at managing products and selling products, as an e-commerce store. Definitely one of the best, especially for promoting things maybe on social media as well. They do have a lot of connections there too when it comes to maybe running advertisements as well. Moving in at the number 3 spot, we have a Wix. Now, Wix is a sort of a combination of both. If you're looking at sort of WordPress and Shopify, Wix is somewhere in the middle. They also are a landing page builder. You can also sell products as well. So they do also have e-commerce that you can have with Wix. Again, it depends on the plan that you do go with in terms of accepting payments, things like that, standard e-commerce, basic e-commerce, or if you just want like a light version and no e-commerce, then you can go for like a more basic version. Again, pricing is always subject to change depending on when you're watching this video. All of this pricing may be slightly different. Again, WordPress is still probably the most cost-effective solution, but it is a little bit more, hands-on. There's a little less hand-holdiness that the platform will do for you. You kind of have to figure it out for yourself. Whereas with Wix, again, more similar to Shopify in the fact that Wix will also sort of hand-hold you through the website creation process, the website building process. Again, they do have a wide variety of different templates as well that you can get started with. If you want to have like an online store, you can do that with Wix. You can also just build out a basic blog if that's what you're trying to do. Again, they have a wide variety of different templates that you can get started with on there as well. Again, sort of the hand-holdy process of, using landing page builders. It's all managed under the Wix platform, so you don't have to worry about separate website hosting either, which can be nice and just a little less on your hands. So it depends, if you're going to be doing e-commerce, you will have to pay a little bit more with Wix versus a basic blog. It can be a lot cheaper, or even like a free version of Wix as well. So again, it just depends on what you're looking at and what you want to build with them. Again, they do also have branding tools, as you can see here. And you can also create, ads or even just good SEO by creating content, as well as just managing, your product titles, product descriptions, and things like that as well. You can also rank decently well with Wix as well, and the Wix SEO Studio. So yeah, Wix is another great option when it comes to building out a website. I'd say so more similar to Shopify, but really kind of a combination between WordPress and Shopify, where you kind of can go either direction depending on how far in either way you want to go. Moving on, next in this list, we have Square. Now, Square is hands down the most popular platform when it comes to selling in person, right? Those POS payments, but they also do have a website builder through their Weebly partnership that they purchased Weebly years ago. And now Square also allows you to build out an e-commerce store. And so the reason why I mentioned them here in a content management system video is that they also allow you to build out a blog and things like that as well on your e-commerce store. And you can create content, and just generally, if you want to sell products, especially if you do plan on using point of sale systems, maybe if you're a restaurant, retail, a beauty salon, if you're looking for a place to, not only host your products and have a place to maybe create invoices or create scheduling software, really Square is the best when it comes to, selling those, processing transactions in person, as well as having a website. And the nice thing about their website is it is free to get started with. So you can start a free website with them as well. And they also do have even a free way to collect payments. Now, they are going to charge you processing fees on those payments that you do collect. But Square is definitely one of the most cost-effective solutions when it comes to just getting started. Now, again, when you're comparing e-commerce solutions in terms of selling online, really there is nothing better than Shopify in my opinion. But when it comes to selling in person, there's a reason why most places you go they're using Square at most places in person. So if you do plan on doing that in your business as well, then Square can be a really good solution for you. Again, they are used by a ton of companies as well. Getting into the actual online store, as you can see here, they do have the online store. Again, allows people to easily order things from your website. Again, if you are looking for a way to sort of marry e-commerce and POS systems and selling in person, that can be a good way to go. Again, with a company like Square, again, I recommend them a lot on the channel to a lot of different business owners because of just how easy it is to get started with their point of sale systems and hardware. Again, that you can even get started for free with them as well. So it is a good option as well for e-commerce. Again, if you are looking for that in a content management platform, if maybe you want to also sell in person, again, Shopify can solve a lot of those needs as well, because Shopify does also have POS systems, but it's a bit more expensive maybe for people just getting started selling in person. Shopify might be a little bit better for people who are really looking to have a bigger online presence than Square. So maybe if you are going to have more of an in-person presence, then Square might be better for you. More of an online presence, then Shopify might be better for you in that situation. But I figured I would include Square in this list as well, because they do have a free way to get started, at least with their online store as well. So you can start selling products with them, through their online store, which is not bad. It's a pretty decent option as well, considering how cost effective it is. Moving on, next in this list, we also have WooCommerce, which again is another e-commerce platform. We'll be getting into other website builders that don't really focus on e-commerce as well, but I figured I would include them in this list because a lot of you guys are looking to build websites, start online brands. Most of you want to sell products, right? If you're going to be selling things online, building out a website, maybe you're going to be transacting online as well. So I figured I would include a few in this list, right? A couple e-commerce platforms as well when it comes to managing content. So WooCommerce is actually built off of the WordPress platform. So WordPress, essentially, you're just adding WooCommerce as a plugin to your WordPress store. So you will still need some sort of host, like web hosting, to get started with, and then you can just add in WooCommerce, to start selling products on your WordPress website. Now, I will say Shopify and Square are probably better when it comes to managing an e-commerce store, but WooCommerce is free, right? So you can't really beat free as a free plugin that all you have to do is add it to your WordPress website. And they have come a long way in recent years in terms of all the different themes that you can use. Now, some of those themes are paid if you want it to look a certain way. But again, WooCommerce is a very popular platform. I would say probably next in line in terms of popularity for e-commerce after Shopify. So WooCommerce can be another good option. Again, it is a WordPress-based e-commerce platform. Essentially, all it is a WordPress plugin that you're adding to your WordPress store or WordPress website to create an e-commerce store. So it is another good option. Again, they have come a long way in recent years in terms of the themes that are available. So figured I would include them in this list. Moving on, next we have Squarespace. Now, Squarespace is really focused around building out a nice website that's very clean, very templated, very, simple and easy to understand. Again, they are not primarily focused on e-commerce. They are primarily, built around having a templated website that is very clean and easy to navigate. Now, they have added e-commerce in recent years, so not to say that you can't do it. Again, you can sell products and services and an e-commerce store on Squarespace as well, but you don't necessarily have to. It's not like built into the basic version where it is with like something like Shopify, where it's like if you're going to be doing e-commerce, if you're signing up for Shopify, you're going to be doing e-commerce. Squarespace does have a couple different options when it comes to, building out a website. If you want to have e-commerce, you can add it, but you don't necessarily have to have it. They do have a variety of different templates. Now, where Squarespace started out was really for creating portfolio sites for photographers and things like that. So it is a very design-centric site. They've added on the ability to create online stores. You could, host your local business. They started out as photography portfolios. You can also use them as well for booking appointments. Again, if you check out my other video on appointment booking platforms, they do also own Acuity Scheduling, which is under the Squarespace brand. So they are a very clean templated platform. And if you are looking to do booking scheduling, you can do that as well with them too, as well as just hosting content on the site. So, realistically, when it comes to comparing a lot of these, some of it may just come down to price for some of you, or really if you have that flexibility to maybe add on e-commerce in the future, or, depending on the type of templates that you find that you like. Again, a lot of these different companies here in this list do have free trials that you can get started with, or at least, test the waters out and maybe see which one you like the best. As you can see here, you can also build out scheduling on your booking page and start selling that as well as a alternative type of product. You can also create courses, things like that, invoice clients. So you do have a very similar setup to maybe Square, but just take away all the POS focus. And if you're not going to be selling like through point of sale systems or something like that, then Squarespace could be a good templated website builder that's very easy and handholdy. It's going to be more expensive than a platform like WordPress. Obviously, that's still the cheapest platform when it comes to just cranking out websites. But again, Squarespace can be a very good solution for a lot of people. Moving on, next in this list, we have web.com. Now, web.com is again another website builder, and they also have an AI powered website builder to help you in terms of building out the templated design. They have their new AI builder. They do also have a free trial that you can get started with, so you can use them for their drag and drop builder. Now, they do also have SEO capabilities as well within their websites. It is a more simplified version, I would say, of something like Squarespace or even Wix. I'd say web.com is sort of a more simplified version of that. When you take a look at their pricing as well, it is a bit cheaper too. I'd say it's more comparable to a WordPress website in terms of the overall pricing that you would expect. Again, they kind of lock you into those yearly pricing, again, with a lot of companies in terms of what that may look like. You can also get your domain through them as well. You can also set up, booking appointments, scheduling, an online store. They do also offer WordPress hosting if you are looking at doing WordPress hosting through them as well, but you can just use the web.com website builder and build it out into your web.com website. So again, another good option, worth taking a look at in terms of the templates and all the things that they do give you. It is a bit more hand-holdy, again, compared to just sort of like a Bluehost option or something like that. Now, moving on, next in this list, we have HubSpot. So HubSpot is different from a lot of the other CMSs that I've mentioned here in this video. Now, HubSpot is primarily a CRM platform, similar to like a Salesforce or something like that, but HubSpot does also offer a free CMS to start getting traffic and start driving leads to grow revenue in your business. So if you are going to have like sort of a sales team, that's really where HubSpot shines in terms of, if you have a CRM platform, you have salespeople, and you want to drive people through a funnel, then your HubSpot CMS can be a platform for you to build out landing pages, drag and drop things together, and it is free that you can get started with. They do also have a demo as well within HubSpot. So that really does make sense for a lot of people if you want to build a simple business website. Again, very conversion focused. It is a bit more limited in terms of how much of a site you can really build with them. But again, it is nice. It's a free content management system, in order to grow your online presence. Now, it's not necessarily, built for e-commerce or built for all the other things that some of the other CMSs I have mentioned here in this video. But if you are planning on already using HubSpot for a CRM, then their HubSpot free CMS tool can help you, again, drive traffic and get people into your funnel in order to start, building out that sort of customer journey that you can see here, and it integrates with your HubSpot customer platform. So it can be a good way to sort of get people in the door and build out sort of like a hub for driving leads in your business. Now, moving in, last but not least, we have Webflow. Now, Webflow is more of a code-centric platform. If you want to, take control of, as you can see here, with their HTML, CSS, and JavaScript visual canvas. So it is a bit more focused for people who have maybe some development experience. If you're going to be drag and dropping things, essentially you can, design things and then they'll build out the code. So you don't necessarily need to have like all of the specific coding experience, but in terms of the overall design and detail that you can get into, as you can see here, it almost looks like Photoshop as far as how specific you want to get with their builder. So it is almost like a coded level website where you can really get specific, as you can see here, even building like a moving globe on your site. So you can also, build out content pages as well. It's just a very, very detailed platform. Again, sort of similar to like a Photoshop for your website, in my opinion. It is a bit more complicated and complex in terms of like, how detailed you want to get with Webflow. And, you can edit the code on there too, which is cool and just very, simple with their drag and drop functionality in terms of like how to get started. But in some cases, it might almost be like too many options for some people. If you don't necessarily need all of those functions, in terms of if you don't necessarily care about designing it down to the little tiny paintbrush detail, then maybe it might not be best for you. But if you are interested in that, they could be a good option for, again, getting down to those nitty-gritty details on your CMS. So again, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to check out any of the companies mentioned here in today's video, you can go and check out those links down below in the video description. Again, some of which are affiliate links, which is great to help out and support the channel. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that was all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.